Greetings YouTube, time for a bargain video. We start out with the Partridge Family coloring book, which I've actually found very little about this particular version of it. I found another one, but it didn't have this cover, so I don't know how common this particular one is. It just made me smile, so I picked it up. We have the role-playing game Arrow Flight, which was originally written in 1980. This particular volume was released in 2001. I believe that it is available as a PDF online if you were so interested. I think RPG Now carries it. We have Deadpool Dead Presidents and Deadpool Soul Hunter. Dead Presidents is excellent. It's like another reel of a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool film. Very entertaining. I really quite enjoyed myself. This one, not so much. It's not as good, but still, it wasn't horrible. This is the Ultimate X-Men. This is a number of issues plus a couple of about an annual all combined. I like the art. Yeah, it wasn't very good though. Don't recommend this one. There will be detailed reviews coming up about these later. Book on Cleopatra, practical outdoor projects for my wife. Ghosts on the Throne, the death of the great Alexander the Great and the war for crown and empire. Essentially, what happened after his death. I'm a big fan of Alexander the Great, only partly because my middle name is Alex. Then we have a Urban Myth board game. This is sealed, and I picked it up at a Buy the Pound place for like $3, so I may just give that away as a gift. Then we have some Winter Solstice music, and we have Lynyrd Skynyrd and 38 special Christmas album, which makes me smile. On to the films. Here we have Sharknado, which we did not actually watch straight out. We just watched it with the commentary track. And people in the commentary track were quite endearing. The film was really, really stupid. We have The Gruffalo and The Gruffalo's Child. I got those from my wife. Here we have a collection of Blondie movies, which I don't know if I've ever actually watched a Blondie movie all the way through, but now I can, because I have 5 of them. We have Croczilla. Japan was just the appetizer, which actually had very solid production quality. Croczilla did, at least. I haven't looked at the other ones yet, because there's another 7 films on this. But Croczilla actually had solid production values. It actually wasn't horrible. I was quite pleased by it. We had The Accountant. Haven't watched that one yet. Crimson Peak. Evil Dead. I have Evil Dead 2. I didn't think I had Evil Dead. But this is a commentary track and it's Blu-ray, so I picked that up. We have the Boondock Saints. Just Boondocks. Uncut and uncensored. And I tried watching this series when it ran originally, and it was painful. I'll see if I can do it or not. We'll find out. We have Justice League, which was a mess. That was a mess. And so very gray. Doctor Strange, which was not horrible. I wasn't expecting much. There was still the whole Asian whitewashing thing. And I'm also really tired of the white savior syndrome they got going on in so many stories. But it could have been a lot worse. So I'll watch it again with the commentary. I'm glad now I have the full story of his Marvel cinematic background. Then we have Tom Cruise's The Mummy. I'm not expecting much, but I got it for $4 at a sale. I paid $4 for the Justice League 2, so that's how I kind of justified purchasing it. And then we have Paddington 2, and my wife and I both found the original Paddington quite adorable. Here we have a pumpkin. He is a new piece, though I did pick him up at an antique shop in Lawrence, Massachusetts. We have this, which is an angle finder, essentially. It's for transferring angles from one point to another. It needs some work, but I got it real cheap. So I may treat that as a reconstruction project. We have this paddle here, which I plan on turning into a weapons build. I think I'm going to see if I can preserve the sticker. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. We'll see, because I'm going to end up having to drill holes in this, so the whole drilling process may ruin it. But if I can get it to preserve the stickers, I will do so, because I think it would add a nice aesthetic to it. We have this, which is a folding measuring tape. Now these hinges, so these check sections fold this way, and then when you got both of those folded in, it folds that way. So you end up with a 6-inch ruler, which you can bring out into a 12-inch or into the full 24. And I picked this up, I think I paid $15 for it. I mean, it's an antique. I don't know if it's I can't really find a name on it, so it may be a no-name brand, but there are some nice ones out there. I've seen Stanley's and things like that. This one had the complete brass tips, which was one of the reasons I went with this particular one. The shop I was at had a number of different ones. This one that was the low enough price point for my interest, and it was complete. So there you go. We have this really nice horseshoe, which is in excellent condition. It's handmade, and it was apparently never used, but it is hand forged. And I want to use this for an art project. So it's just going to be hanging on a wall, and I picked it up very cheaply. I think I paid $2 for it. We have an Opinel number 6, which I have cleaned up. I was kind of rusty when I got it. It needs to be honed, but other than that, it's in good operating condition. I picked it up for $5 at an estate sale, and at the same estate sale, I picked up this colorful fish. He is a ceramic fish, and he is designed to be hanging on a wall. So he's going to go into our bathroom, where we have kind of a fishy theme going on in there. So we have one more section, which is some tools and toys, and then we're done today. Alrighty, so I got some wall hangers somebody gave me for nothing. This is I think originally a Gil Hibben design, but I could be wrong on that one. It's big and silly, but it makes me smile, and it's missing one of its spiky things, but that's okay. So I think I'm going to keep that one around just because it's cool. This is a classic kind of wall hanging, sort of King Arthur kind of vibe going on there. It's absurdly heavy. It has no edge whatsoever. It was never intended to have an edge. None of these swords I have here are. But it would be good for cosplaying. I mean, you can't actually go to a convention with this because it's made of metal, but it might be bad for costuming itself. So I'll keep that one around. We got a couple of wall hanging Japanese knockoffs here. We have a wakizashi and then a katana. And the wakizashi has actually got a nice looking shape to it. So I'm thinking maybe I can take this and make myself kind of a cosplay style naginata, just for fun. That might be cool. Maybe turn that into a nagamaki. I don't know. We'll see. But again, I got them for nothing. So whatever projects I can get out of them, it's a net gain for me. We have a box of parts, mostly washers and a few hooks. I picked this up for $1 at an estate sale because I'm always hunting for washers, particularly ones that have a large size. And here we go. Here we have, I picked these up at a thrift shop. These are drawer pulls, and they look like wiener dogs. And I saw these, are like, oh wow, that's adorable. So now we need to have we'll have to come up with some projects to use wiener dog drawer pulls. I picked this up not because I was in the market for a Craftsman open end or box wrench, but I recently saw a video on YouTube where someone had taken a close end wrench and turned it into a spoon knife. So they made the scoop, the knife, the kind of knife you use to carve the scoop in a handmade wooden spoon. And I'm like, that's a really cool idea. And I don't want to ruin any of my stuff. So I picked up this Craftsman for, I think, $1. I can do that with this and then not worry about whether it works or not. And if I discover that I like the idea, maybe I'll get a better quality one, which I know what the steel is, because I don't know what the steel is in this one is. This is a thread. This is how I help clean up threads. So this comes apart. Then you can clamp the piece of threaded rod or a bolt in there, and you can clean up the threads on said. And this is how you put the tension on it. And I picked that up for very little money at an estate sale. I don't know if I have an immediate need for it, but it was cheap enough. I'm like, all right, I can justify that. We have a DeWalt nail pull, which is actually in good condition. It needs to be cleaned up, but the overall shape is in good stuff. DeWalt's a pretty good quality tool. So, and again, I picked this for like $2 up at an estate sale. And then we have an Estwing Mason's hammer, and I love hammers. And I don't own many Estwing tools. I would like to get some a couple of Estwing hatchets. They make some really nice looking hatchets and axes, but they're not cheap. And I got this one for like $5 at an estate sale. It needs to be cleaned up, which I can do. So I can bring it back to usable condition. But now I have an Estwing hammer, which is kind of nice. So there you go, folks. This has been the bargain video. I hope that you have had fun watching it. I'm going to now move this stuff to where it needs to go. At the moment, hold on a second. I'll show you one. Give me 1 second. At the moment, I cannot easily take things to the basement because I have no stairs. I have no deck. I have no railing. The body of my new set of stairs has been put in place, and hopefully on Monday we may actually get stairs. So they need to finish up the deck, and they need to put the stringers in and everything. But this is a far, far superior design than the one that was here, because the one that was here had the 4 posts and the stringers and everything you're looking at here, but they were not properly joined at the corners. Whoops, sorry. They were not properly joined at the corners. The posts had only a single diagonal, a single diagonal support for all the posts. Like there was 2 posts there, and there was one. There was nothing in between them there, and there was nothing in between them underneath that side. There was only a single one on the end. And it just had the post there on the corner, on the outside corner, had just completely warped. And so the city said, you're going to replace these. So they made the decision, and I have to pay for it. Lucky me. We're also doing the front porch as well. They're not replacing the entire thing, but they're supporting it properly because it was never supported properly. And then they're going to put a new deck on it and some new stairs, because all of these things need to be done for it to be safe, because I own an apartment building, so the city inspects these things on a regular basis. But there's now a horizontal cross beam down there, as well as an X-brace plus 2 45 supports on either of these, and those actually aren't fully attached yet. They're only pinned in place. I was here when they put those in. They didn't have time to do the full attachment yet, so they need to get in there and put some lag bolts in there to hold those in place, but they're just pinned in place, so they now know where they want them to go. And like, it's a Sunday and they have a job, and it's raining. I would not ask anyone to work in this weather right now. It's cold and unpleasant out here. So I cannot readily get supplies into the basement, so some of the things that are in this video will not be going down in the basement today. But this is much, much safer. Not to mention those 2 upper, smaller braces. They didn't exist in the last one either. But yeah, this is going to be much safer. And it's all pressurized treated lumber, which the last one was not. Now, some of you may have seen me do a video not long ago where I replaced the stair treads on my stairs, because the city said, repair them. So I repaired them. And then the city said, no, we're going to make you replace them. The guy was nice enough to remove the stair treads at my request, so I still have the stair treads. I don't think he's going to use them. But if he does, cool. If he doesn't, I will find a use for them. Maybe I'll make a target out of them or something. But the wood will not go to waste. But yeah, so this is the reason that I am unable to just bring down... Oh shoot, he left the saw blade here. This is the reason I have not been able to... we will not be able to bring some of this stuff down into the shop today. It was kind of entertaining because when it came to the destruction of the old set of stairs, a lot of that was done with a chainsaw. So it was fast and dirty. And at the moment, we still have a pile of stuff on the lawn waiting to go in, become my new stairs. Obviously, the big ones, the big boards you're seeing on the outside will be the stringers for the steps themselves, which you had to go all the way to Concord, New Hampshire to get, because apparently they just didn't have the quality of the wood he wanted here in Manchester. Not shocking. Some of the big box stores around this place, you'd be amazed how hard it is to get straight boards off those racks. So let's close that up so nobody inadvertently opens that up and walks into the oblivion. But yep, I hope you've appreciated this little bonus footage at the end. And I will see you folks next bargain video.